his home by an unidentified person who shouted, "Go back to your own country." The Kent police are now looking for a gunman who allegedly walked onto a man's driveway and shot him. The Kent Police Chief, Ken Thomas, has said that while the Sikh man sustained non-life-threatening injuries, they are treating this as a very serious incident.
This is the first incident of this magnitude that I'm aware of in the city of Kent.
Kent Police Chief Ken Thomas says so far, the investigation looks like a hate crime against the Sikh community. Today, investigators went door to door looking for clues. The shooting happened Friday night at 8. The police chief said the shooter approached a 39-year-old Sikh man while he worked on his vehicle in his 108th Avenue driveway.
Confronted by a subject, some comments were made to the effect of, "Get out of our country, go back to where you're from," and our victim was then shot.
The victim was shot in the arm. The police chief expects him to make it.
So this morning when I woke up, it was very disheartening to see the news.
Satwinder Kaur is a local religious leader. She and several other Sikh community members joined the press conference.
It's hard to see somebody from your community being a victim of a hate crime. I mean, I've been here a long time, and we haven't seen something happening at this level.
Police tried to calm the community's concerns this afternoon in a meeting at City Hall.
And you come in, we teach you how to run and set up a block watch and communicate with us.
So it was really shocking.
Satwinder says her community is shaken, but she hopes this message spreads instead of fear.
Don't be scared. Just because we've been through one incident, it shouldn't hold us back.
स्टेट में जिस तरह से इंडियन पर हमले हुए हैं, भारत सरकार ने अपनी सख्त प्रतिक्रिया दी है और हमारी एम्बेसी वहां संपर्क में है, वहां जो भारतवंशी हैं उनके, और अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट के सामने भी इस पक्ष को रखा गया है। खुद अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने इसकी घोर निंदा हाउस के अंदर की है। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि इस तरह की आइंदा घटना न हो, इसके लिए हमारी सरकार अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट के संपर्क में है।
Well, in fact, senior journalist Pramitpal Chaudhary is joining us now, NewsX, for further perspective. Pramitpal Chaudhary, how do you react to yet another incident? Joining us now, NewsX, for further perspective. Pramitpal Chaudhary, how do you react to yet another incident, alleged racist incident being reported from America?
Well, this one seems to be a hate crime because the person did yell, I believe something like "Go back to your home" or something, or "Leave the country." Though there was a fight, there was some argument between the Sikh and the person who carried out the attack before, the nature of which at least I haven't been able to find out about. But yeah, we've had now at least 2 hate crimes and 1 attack, 1 murder, which we don't know the basis for. And this one at least could potentially have considered almost a murder because he actually did use a gun against the Sikh, even if you only hit him in the arm. So we've had 3 incidents, 2 of which are definitely hate-related. And as we said before, we have seen a surge in hate crimes against various groups, including Asians, but largely against immigrants of various varieties, but also against gay people since Trump's election. Trump has actually denounced this a couple of times now as president, but his rhetoric and the nature of his support base is almost certainly helping legitimize a sense among some of these people who probably already had a dislike for immigrants, that they can take some sort of action in public and get away with it. Fortunately, there was an initial surge for about 10 days after his election. Since then, we've seen the hate crimes slowly, actually and statistically, drop off, though they're still higher now than they were in the period before his election. Hopefully, as time progresses and as the law and order mechanism continues to arrest, apprehend, and punish those who carried out the attacks, there will be a recognition that, in fact, whether whoever may be in the as president of the United States, it doesn't actually make any difference on the ground. The police will still arrest you and take action against you, no matter what you say or do.
Just stay with us, Mr. Chaudhary, because former Foreign Secretary Shashank also joining us now, NewsX. Mr. Shashank, how do you react, sir, to yet another incident of an alleged hate crime, alleged racist incident?
Well, the governments are doing their bit. The U.S. government has also made its position clear that it would like all communities to live together in harmony and does not find that this kind of hate crime or crime can be in any way condoned. But what I'm worried is that the Indian community and the people of Indian origin or other ethnic origins, they have to look after themselves, in the sense that those who are American passport holders of whatever origin, now their number is fairly large, and they need to take it up with the local community leaders, with the local mayors and others, to see what precautions can be given and what safeguards can be provided to them. Secondly, those who are of Indian origin and Indian passport holders and living there on H-1B or various other kinds of tourist visas, etc., they also need to be careful that they need to travel only in those areas where there are possibilities for safety and not take any kind of chances. And as far as the Indian people within India are concerned, whose relatives are there, they need to advise them also in the same lines that their relatives in the United States, they should take care of their own safety. The U.S. government will definitely do whatever is required to do, but that will be after the action is already completed. So they need to take necessary precautions. That is, anywhere where the crime rates go up and particular communities are targeted, they have to take action, and they should also tie up with other similar communities to see what actions are being taken by them, so that they can then work together with other similarly disadvantaged communities.
Assurance, so, a mention of this in his speech. Obviously, the climate there hasn't really changed.
No. I mean, there is no encouragement. I mean, earlier there was a feeling that perhaps because of the executive orders being planned for different countries, so there was a feeling that this would encourage hate crimes, not only against the designated countries, but against other countries, people also, who cannot be distinguished very easily by normal run-of-the-mill people. But here, that has been clarified by the government that they would like all communities to live together in peace and harmony. But there are actions to be taken in democracy. The communities themselves also have to take action at the community level and at the local governmental levels, so that they need to work themselves. And our people in India, they need to sensitize their relatives, and they need to be also cautious. And of course, it's for the individuals to decide. Those who are living in dangerous areas, they may like to move to other non-vulnerable areas. And if they want to move to some other countries, they can move to other countries depending on the availability of jobs, etc.
Is there no denying that these are alleged hate crimes, these are alleged racist incidents, given the occurrences of the attackers?
No, I don't want.
All right, we're absolutely out of time, sir, so we'll have to leave it there, unfortunately. Shashank and Mr. Chaudhary, thanks for joining us. More reactions meanwhile coming in.
Not come out, but the fact is that these are things the Indian community is under constant fear. They feel that they are insecure there. In fact, in America, Indian society always had a pride of place, but now they are totally insecure. They are under constant fear.
The American Sikh Congressional Caucus is taking action in regards to the situation and making sure that the recent shooting is addressed as a hate crime. The caucus has contacted local law enforcement in order to effectively prosecute any suspect involved accordingly. for the magnitude of this hate crime and according to the situation. The Sikh caucus has and will continue to support the Sikh community on a national level.
ट्रंप ने ज़रूर अपनी स्पीच में कहा है कि वो हेट क्राइम को कंडेम करते हैं, लेकिन ज़मीन पर इसका कोई असर नज़र नहीं आया। बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर अमेरिका के जो लॉ मेकर्स हैं और एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं और पुलिस फोर्सेस हैं, उनको ऐसे लोगों को एग्जेम्पलरी पनिशमेंट देनी पड़ेगी, नहीं तो ये हेट क्राइम बढ़ती जाएगी।
We want that Donald Trump government must take some serious steps to stop this hate crime. The culprits must be punished, and the American at large must be educated about the Sikh religion, what we stand for. We also will approach Sushma Swaraj and Modi government that a government of India must also make pressure on the American counterpart that they must take stern action against these instances of hate crime.
This is a very heinous crime, and we condemn it on behalf of Shiv Sena. But after the President Donald Trump assured that such things will not be repeated, or their government will take entire care that another such incident will not occur. But it is put the question of ties with the US, our diplomatic ties, again into the forefront. And it is a very grave situation.
Well, Satvinder Kaur, in fact, is joining us now with further perspective on this story. Satvinder, has the fear of hate crimes grown because of the incidents reported? Was this issue discussed often?
Well, the meeting we were at earlier this morning was planned like a month ago. This meeting was supposed to be a community engagement meeting, so it was to tell our police, bridge a gap between our police and our community members. But it ended up being a conversation about the hate crime. So we were talking about having neighborhood block watches, talking to your neighbors, and keeping an eye on your neighbors' houses. And if you see something, again, calling the police. So commanders and the chief were talking about the different resources they have that we can use.
And Satvinder, have you been in touch with the victim and his family at all?
I have not been in touch with the victim because since he wishes to remain anonymous, only the police department and the police chief has been in touch with him. Through the police chief, we heard that he's shaken up, pretty just emotionally, but he is doing okay. He was shot in the arm, so I mean he lost his consciousness for a little bit, but he came back to it. He was taken to a hospital, and we believe he is back home.
And do you think, Satvinder, that hate crimes have increased then?
That plays a part in what is happening. We do see that people are, because of the current climate, it's acceptable to be racist. It's acceptable to make hate comments towards each other. It has increased. We do see that, and we're hoping it does not continue. We're fortunate that we're in Washington State, which is one of the more liberal states in the U.S., and we don't see crimes like this happening. But since it happened in my city, it's unfortunate, and we are hoping it doesn't continue. I know our police department in Kent is pretty amazing. They're very culturally competent and trained properly. So we're hoping we will get to the bottom of this along with the FBI and be able to find the suspect.
Right. And which organization do you work for, Satvinder?
The organization that I work with is Sikh Soch. And we plan on educating community more. We plan on having more conversations with our police officers, with our public officials, with our community members. So going out there, holding open houses and open forums for them to come have conversations, inviting them. That is one of the things we are working on. We have been working on this, but now it seems like there's more need than there was
before. So it's a sense of urgency. We're also planning on hosting some like peaceful protests or rallies around the city, and talking to people, having a conversation, inviting them to join us with some positive messages about their neighbors and the community members. And we'll be working on educating people more about us.
Well, thanks very much, Satvinder, for joining us via Skype and giving us that perspective there. Meanwhile, more reactions coming in on this story.
We want that Donald Trump government must take some serious steps to stop this hate crime. The culprits must be punished, and the American at large must be educated about the Sikh religion, what we stand for. We also will approach Sushma Swaraj and Modi government that a government of India must also make pressure on the American counterpart that they must take stern action against these instances of hate crime.
ट्रम्प प्रशासन के लिए ये एक बड़ी चुनौती है और जो अमेरिका की एक वैश्विक हैसियत है उसमें पूरी दुनिया के जो अप्रवासी अमेरिका में हैं वो अमेरिका में कहीं न कहीं न्याय की उम्मीद कर रहे हैं और ऐसे तत्वों के खिलाफ एक बड़ी कार्रवाई करके ट्रम्प पूरी दुनिया के लोगों का विश्वास जीत सकते हैं।
Right. Well, we're getting breaking information coming in regarding MEA Minister of External Affairs Sushma Swaraj's comments on this story. Sushma Swaraj reacting to this story, tweeting on this incident, we believe. Sushma Swaraj has spoken out, tweeting on this incident. That's the latest information coming in. Paulomi Saha can get us further details. Paulomi, what can you tell us?
Well, yes, Sushma Swaraj has reacted to this incident, which is coming from Kent in Washington. Basically, what she said is, "I'm sorry to know about the attack on Deep Try," is the name of the gentleman, the Sikh gentleman who was injured in a suspected hate crime incident in the U.S. She says, "I'm sorry to know about the attack on Deep Try, a U.S. national of Indian origin. I've spoken to Sardar Harpal Singh, father of the victim. He told me that his son had a bullet injury on his arm. He's out of danger and is recovering in a private hospital." So Sushma Swaraj has basically spoken to the father of the victim in order to get more details. She's also, of course, spoken about another incident where, of course, a U.S. national of Indian origin in Lancaster passed away, where she's expressed her condolences to the family as well, and she's also counsel in Lancaster, and they have reached out to the family as well, met with the family of Anish Patel, another U.S. citizen, a U.S. national of Indian origin who was killed, and the investigation of the case is in progress, she says, and my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. So the MEA taking note of these instances and incidences that are coming to light, especially after the incident in Kansas, where an Indian national, Srinivas Kuchibotla, was killed in what is, of course, another case of a suspected hate crime. The investigation is underway. The assailant has been taken into custody, of course.
We leave it there. Paulomi, thanks for joining us with those details.